Happy 9/11, everyone. So to celebrate the occasion, I decided to make a video listing the most popular 9/11 theories. Um, I'm getting most of these from a Wikipedia article, except for the last one. I found it on Reddit. I'm not gonna link the Reddit because I don't wanna, but I will link the Wikipedia article. So here we go. So, the first one is foreknowledge. Now this is the most common one. Everybody, everybody, every conspiracy theorist thinks this. Conspiracy theorists claim that action or inaction by U.S. officials with foreknowledge was intended to ensure that the attacks took place successfully. For example, Michael Meacher, former British environment minister and member of Tony Blair's government, said that the United States knowingly failed to prevent the attacks. Now, is this true? Probably not. The government and security in general was just kind of retarded back in the 2000s and before. Yeah, and speaking of action, the inaction of fighter jets and all that, we'll get into that later. Next one is suspected insider trading, or money. This is another really common one. Some say that just before 9/11, that a lot of stock bets were placed on United Airlines and American Airlines, the airplanes that were attacked. And speculate that insiders may have known in advance of the coming events of 9/11 and placed their bets accordingly. An analysis into the possibility of insider trading on 9/11 concludes that a measure of abnormal long put volume was also examined and seemed to be at abnormally high levels in the days leading up to the attacks. Consequently, the paper concludes that there's a lot of evidence of the usual option market and activity in the days leading up to September 11th that is consistent with the investors of trading on advanced knowledge of the attacks. Alan M. Poteshman, Jewish name, he knows a lot about money, I assume. In the days of leading up to 9/11, analysis shows a rise into the put-to-call ratio for United Airlines and American Airlines, which are, the plane companies that were attacked. I mean, they weren't attacked, they were hijacked. So, next one is pretty good. Let's get on to the next one. Alright, air fence and stand-down theory. Common claim about this one isn't as common, probably because it's actually quite easily debated against. Common claim among conspiracy theorists is that the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, issued a stand-down order deliberately scrambled fighters late to allow the hijacked airplanes to reach their targets. According to this theory, NORAD had the capability to intercept planes on 9/11. The failure to do so indicates a government conspiracy to allow the attacks to occur. This ties in with the foreknowledge. Conspiracy theorist Mike R. Elisis says that there's only one explanation for this. Our Air Force was ordered to stand down on 9/11. But in actuality, the hijackers obviously took off communication and tracking with the army, because they want to get their attacks, they want to make sure they reach their targets correctly. Okay, this last one's a doozy. Oof. I kind of believe it myself, really. Okay, hold on there, bucko. Okay, I'm just gonna read this out. So this one is called the 9/11 Vor Conspiracy. Whew. The 9/11 Vor Conspiracy argues that the Twin Towers were not hit by planes externally. Instead, the planes were built inside the towers and continually inflated, to which eventually caused the collapse. The anonymous theorist, revealing footage of the 9/11 attack, stops the footage numerous times to point out the weak zones of the town and that gave in as a response to the increasing weight of the internal aircraft. He highlights areas in the footage that portray people and objects being violently thrown out of the windows with force, as well as small billows of steam and fire happening at the lower levels of one of the towers. Look at this shit. You're telling me there's just a random ass explosion going on down here? We aren't even remotely close to where the plane collided. Bull fucking shit. Horse shit, sorry. The theorist explains that the planes were built by, quote, crazed US government scientists who watched too much Doctor Who. It was like that of a real-life TARDIS experiment. Another quote, they built these massive towers for what, business? Hell nah. Have you seen the economy pre-9/11? It was shit. We didn't have the money for, nor energy for no goddamn tower of that size, especially not two. We asked why the experiment would take place in the middle of a city as crowded as NYC. The theorist responded, it's hidden in plain sight. NYC's got all the resources in the world right at your disposal. Nah, seriously, man. Look at these streets. There's just a fucking garbage pile going up and down the road. You know what kind of technology you can find in these piles? There's some fucking money to be made. Plus you need to make a nationwide scare if your experiment fucks up. And publicity means more money. They had all to gain and nothing to lose. The theorist explains that any and all footage taken inside the Twin Towers pre-9/11 were simply simulated props or illusion. Footage of NYC recorded in a perspective to which the Twin Towers overlooked were created via a clever series of mirrors, originally sourcing from the 432 Park Avenue building. The theorist claims that any and all footage of the planes are, quote, so fake it's laughable. He states, nobody saw any planes, not in the real life, outside of what the TV stations would tell you. Not a single soul saw an actual physical plane hit the buildings. Hell, you can ask everyone in New York today. You won't find a single person who saw a plane. Thank you. I hope everyone enjoyed their 9/11. I know I did. I'll see you guys again for the next one. See ya.